Hi, everybody. Today I'm going to be reading for you the News to You article for the week titled Gitanjali Rao's new book. Again, I apologize for not having the normal kind of video that I usually have. Our internet is kind of being wonky and not allowing me to log into the Unique Learning Systems curriculum website where I keep all of these documents. So I am just taking up the printed material that I've already printed and recording this way. So to start this off, I thought we would watch a video about her. It's not somebody that I actually heard of before this, but she seems like an amazing lady. So let's watch this video about Gitanjali Rao.
I'm a very curious person. If that's one thing you need to know about me, I love learning about the environment, ecology. Everything is just of such interest to me. I just like learning in general. So everything in school is actually super fun. I cannot see a world filled with kindness without science and technology being involved.
Good, everybody's gone. Now we can talk. Where are you right now?
I'm in Denver, Colorado.
Well, congratulations to the first ever Kid of the Year. You have a brilliant mind, clearly, but you are very, very generous with that mind of information, and that's just really wonderful.
What is the invention?
So I created a device called Tepis. Each and every one of us have the right to know what is in our water and have access to clean drinking water. And this fully functional device can help with that. Tepis is a device that detects lead in drinking water faster and more inexpensive than the current methods out there today. It's based on carbon nanotube sensor technology and provides all the results to your mobile phone on an app that I created. My inspiration behind it was actually the Flint water crisis. It was just so unacceptable that kids my age were essentially drinking a poison every day. And I realized that something really needed to be done to help solve that problem. I don't think I can say there was like an aha moment where I was like, this is what I want to do. It was rather just like this continuous like learning and loving more about STEM and science and technology. But I can tell you a huge changing moment in my life was about, I want to say when I was 4 or 5 years old, my uncle got me a chemistry kit, and I felt the need to finish the whole thing in one day, and I did. A lot of my devices are based on biology, chemistry, physics, computational method. This process, it's usually spread over a couple of months, even years. It's just based on how I feel about it and how I get inspired by something. I don't force myself through the process. I don't do anything to accelerate it. I do it at a pace which makes me feel excited and makes me want to keep going. See, that's the biggest thing about innovation is if you don't have that motivation and drive to keep going, it's going to be dry. It's not going to be something you enjoy doing or anybody else is going to enjoy hearing about. 2020 has really helped me be a kid. Obviously, I do need fresh air, so I go on bike rides a lot. I fenced. I did a lot of virtual fencing. I fenced a lot of pillows. I baked a lot, an insane amount. Calligraphy is now a thing I do. Our family is a huge like world traveling family. I've been to a lot of countries. I want to say about 14 where I want to go. I know we're not going to go here anytime soon, but Madagascar. And it's such a cool place. I'm just obsessed with animals and free, wild, roaming things. The dinosaurs are probably my favorite animal, hands down. There's so many of them, and they're so cool. If someone figures out how to make dinosaurs come back to life, please call me or email me. I can tell you a couple lasting words that stayed with me. Miss Stockdale, who was my teacher when I was in 2nd grade, the first time she met me, she told me that I was going to change the world. I've been wanting to change the world, and hopefully I am changing the world.
So that was just a little bit about Gitanjali Rao. Like I said, she is a pretty amazing kid. She's only 15 years old. So we're going to read a little bit more about her as well. So a young scientist wrote a new book. This scientist is Gitanjali Rao. Gitanjali Rao is 15 years old. She lives near Denver, Colorado. Gitanjali has won many awards. Gitanjali was Time Magazine's Kid of the Year for 2020. She was the first person ever to win this award. Gitanjali was America's top young scientist for 2017. She won a science contest to win this award. Gitanjali uses science to create inventions. Her inventions help solve big problems. One invention helps people have safe water to drink. So this one is kind of important, and we learned in that video that she was very inspired to make this and to make an invention that detects lead in water because of a situation that we have going on in our state in Flint, Michigan. So she didn't think it was fair or okay that kids are drinking water that's basically poisoning them like we have in Flint, Michigan. So she decided to make this invention to hopefully help them. Another invention helps stop online bullying. It helps stop people from sending hurtful messages. And we've learned about that before. Typically, when somebody bullies online, we call that cyberbullying. And it's not a good thing to do. Page 4. Gitanjali helps students around the world use science. She helps students create inventions to solve problems. Gitanjali helps students in museums, schools, clubs, communities, and more. Gitanjali has helped more than 30,000 students. That's amazing, again, because she's only 15 years old. Gitanjali's new book is about solving problems. The title of the book is A Young Inventor's Guide to STEM. An inventor is a person who has new ideas. STEM stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. So that's what we call an acronym, STEM. So the S right here is for the science, the T is for technology, the E is for engineering, and the M is for math. Gitanjali shares ideas in her new book. She shares how she solves problems. Gitanjali follows 5 steps to solve problems. The 5 steps are to observe, brainstorm, research, build, and communicate. Gitanjali says sometimes her ideas do not work, but she does not give up. Gitanjali continues to try new ideas. Gitanjali says students should not give up either. She says everyone can solve problems. She's pretty right on this idea. If you don't get something right the first time and you give up, you're never going to get it right. That's kind of part of being human. We don't always get everything right, especially on the first time. Page 8. Gitanjali wrote a book about solving problems. People can read the book starting on March 16th. They can learn how to create their own inventions. They can learn how to solve problems. Would you like to read Gitanjali's book? So here's a page just on Gitanjali Rao. She was born in 2005. So Gitanjali Rao is a 15-year-old scientist. She wrote a new book about solving problems. Gitanjali lives with her parents and younger brother. Gitanjali enjoys dancing, singing, swimming, fencing, and baking. So she has a lot of hobbies besides being a scientist. This is a page about Denver, Colorado, where Gitanjali lives. Gitanjali lives near Denver, Colorado. Denver is in northern Colorado. It is the capital of Colorado. The Rocky Mountains are near Denver. Many people visit Denver to go skiing. So Denver is a place that is west of us, kind of in the middle of the country. Here is our joke page. Knock, knock. Who's there? Create. Create who? Create day to read a book. So March is reading month, so instead of great day to read a book, it says create day to read a book, because Gitanjali creates things. Let's look at this one. I have a joke. Tell me, why was the math book worried? I don't know why. It had too many problems. All right, so here is the page where we look at these words and decide if this is something that we read about today in the article. So remember, the article was titled Gitanjali Rao's new book. Did we talk about the word problem? We did talk about the word problem because Gitanjali talks about problem solving, and that's part of her whole process for inventing new things. What about the word create? Did we talk about that today? We did talk about the word create because Gitanjali creates new inventions. What about the word handkerchief? No, we didn't talk about handkerchief. What about the word share? We did talk about the word share because Gitanjali shares her ideas and her inventions with the world. What about the word students? We did talk about students because Gitanjali has helped over 30,000 students so far learn how to problem solve and make inventions. What about the word flannel shirt? No, we didn't talk about a flannel shirt. What about the word science? We did talk about the word science because Gitanjali is a scientist and she uses science to make different and new ideas and items. What about the word invention? Gitanjali is an inventor and she has invented many things like how to detect contaminated drinking water. What about the word visor? Did we talk about that today? No, we didn't talk about a visor. What about the word steps? We did talk about the word steps because Gitanjali uses a certain 5 steps that she has developed to problem solve. What about the word ideas? So Gitanjali has a lot of new ideas that she tries to make into inventions. What about the word scientist? Gitanjali is a scientist, so we'll circle that one. What about the word innovator? So Gitanjali is an innovator. She has many new ideas. What about the word solve? So Gitanjali creates many inventions to solve problems. What about the word book? So she did write a new book about problem solving that will be out March 15th. What about the word Saturn? No, we didn't talk about Saturn. Let's look at the review page. So number 1 says, what is this paper about? Is it about Gitanjali Rao's new book? Monarch migration? Or Women's History Month? Circle the answer you think is correct. We read about Gitanjali Rao's new book. Number 2, who, and remember, who means a person, who was Time Magazine's Kid of the Year for 2020? Blue Ivy Carter, Robert Irwin, or Gitanjali Rao? Circle the answer you think is correct. So the Time Magazine's Kid of the Year for 2020 was Gitanjali Rao. Option 3. Question 3. What does Gitanjali live near? Does she live near Louisville, Kentucky, Denver, Colorado, or Boston, Massachusetts? Circle the answer you think is correct. She lives near Denver, Colorado. Option 2. Number 4. What is Gitanjali Rao? Is she a judge, a firefighter, or a scientist? She is a scientist. Option 3. Number 5. What do Gitanjali's inventions solve? Do they solve problems, crossword puzzles, or arguments? They solve problems. Option 1. Last question on the review page. What does Gitanjali follow to solve problems? Does she solve recipes, steps, or mazes? Circle the answer you think is correct. She uses steps to solve her problem. Let's turn to the last page, the crossword puzzle page. Remember, our crosswords go across, words that go down, we write down. So we'll start with our crosswords over here. The first one, number 2, says shares. Number 2 is right here. And we're going to write the word shares because Gitanjali Rao shares her ideas. We spell that S H A. Wait, I'm going down. Sorry, guys. R E S. That's how we spell shares. Cross that out. Go to 4 cross right here. That word says create. So Gitanjali Rao creates new inventions. And we spell that C R E A T E. Cross it off. Number 5, right here. That says problems. So Gitanjali uses her steps to solve different problems. Let's spell that. That's P R O B L E problems. You can cross that off. Number 7, right down here. So Gitanjali wrote a new book, which is going to be out on March 15th. And we spell book B-O-O-K. Book. Last, a crossword, number 8, which is down here. That says invention. Gitanjali Rao makes new inventions. So that's INVENTION. Invention. Now we're going to go to our downwards over on this side. So these words are written down. We'll start with number 1, ideas, right here. So Gitanjali Rao shares her ideas to create things like inventions. We spell that I-D. We've already written an E. A-S. Ideas. Number 2 down, written right here, where I kind of messed up earlier, is the word steps. So she uses steps to solve problems. So we have already written an S there. T, E, P we've already written. S, steps. Cross it off. Number 3 down right here says scientist. So Gitanjali Rao is a scientist. We've already written an S. We've already written a C. We need an I. We've already written an E. N. T. I. S. T. That spells scientist. Last word, 6 down, is solve. So Gitanjali tries to solve her problems by using those steps. So 6 is right here. And we spell solve, S. O is already written. L. V is already written. E. That spells solve. So I hope you guys learned a little bit about Gitanjali Rao. Now you can get out your other packets to do, which you will need something to color with, something to write with, some scissors, and something to glue. I hope you guys have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next time.